Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Conquering Hill podcast and morning talk show. I'm your host, Nicholas Gagnier, and I'm here to slice it because you have the feeling that you also want to dice it today. You want to see what's going on in the world, crack a lacking every single day because everything is moving and never stops. Are you moving along with it? Are you being left in the dust? The world never stops spinning, right? So today is January 18th, a beautiful Thursday outside, I'm sure, wherever you are. So this month, moving along this year, moving along. Thank you for being on the show where you can find me Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., streaming live here on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can also find the replay on Spotify and YouTube. So today I would love to discuss with you and ask you, how are you getting better today? How are you getting better today? That is the question. I first painted that above the door frame out in Panama at my hostel for all my volunteers to read before they started their day because I wanted them to be inspired to get better. I wanted them to be able to work hard that morning, that day, because when I was out there starting and to build and work towards seeing my dream come to fruition, I wanted people to match that energy, but that was impossible at that time. Those volunteers that came out there, they worked hard, they gave it a lot of effort. Thank you to all of them. But when you are passionate and you want something bad enough, no one will ever be able to match that. Within saying that, though, my wife did match it. My soon to be wife at the time, she was incredible. She was inspired. Um, but not everyone can do that, right? So if you're not working towards your dreams and goals, you will be working for someone else's dreams and goals. That's just the flat out truth. So if you look at yourself today, ask yourself honestly, how are you getting better today? What are you doing? Is it just a normal day for you? Is it the normal 9 to 5 work, come home, hang out with the family and kids, watch some TV, go to bed, do it all over again? Did you get better? Did you do anything to get better? Maybe some of you have. Maybe some of you squeezed in a little bit of time to read that book, start writing a little bit, writing that new song, exercise a little bit, did some meditation, went to a yoga class. There are many things that you could do to get better every single day, but are you making that choice? Because it's easy just not to make the choice. It's easy just to be a little bit lazy and not even do anything. But the time keeps ticking. Every day keeps going by you. So I want you to think about, how can I get better every single day? What can you do to get better every single day? And there are many levels to this. First, everyone thinks, well, how can I get better at my job, physically, emotionally, spiritually? So let's start with um, your day to day, your day to day career, your job. Are the little things that you can do to get better? Can you show up 10 to 15 minutes earlier, ready to go? Can you make a few more sales calls? Can you study a little bit harder on the project? Can you work a little bit more towards the project? Can you do a little more research towards that project? There are many ways that you can become better and kind of put yourself above the rest in that crowded field. But it's going to require a lot of effort and time and dedication and discipline. But you have all those traits. You just need to exercise those traits. And what about yourself? How do you feel every single day? A lot of that starts with energy. Do you have the energy to put in the work? Do you have the energy to put in the time? And that goes back to your physical well-being, right? How much exercise can you put in a day? It doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to be much. Today, again, I woke up at 6 a.m., did my push-ups right off the bat, did a little stretching, and, did a little bit of, lifted some weights for a little bit, about 15, 20 minutes before I put in about 10 minutes of meditation. And I feel great doing that. Am I still a little tired being early in the morning? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I'm pushing through because I told myself I'm going to do this. I'm going to come live Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. here on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. I made that commitment to myself and to also you. And that making that commitment to you has given me the power and discipline to not go back on my word. So I'm going to put that time in every single day. And it's not much. So if you want to exercise just to get a little more energy, feel a little bit better about yourself, it doesn't take much. Start with 10 to 15 minutes a day. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find the time, and I understand that. But there is always time. There is always a window. For example, if you like watching a TV show at night, well, most of us that do watch, maybe we'll watch it commercial free. But if there is something with commercials on, you know, every time there's a commercial, do some jumping jacks. Every time there's a commercial, do some push-ups. Every time there's a commercial, do some squats, do some lunges. There are always commercials if you're not watching one of those streaming services. So there are little windows. I wake up, I roll out of bed, 41 push-ups. Bam. It's like clockwork. It's easy. That is easy. It's difficult not to do it because I've trained my body to do it. But that doesn't mean those 41 push-ups aren't getting me better. I'm not becoming a better person because of those 41 push-ups. It keeps my discipline strong. It's always important. But there are other things in my life that I always have to get better at. I always need to tell myself I need to read more. I need to read more books. And I'll read things on the computer or on my phone. Like, I'm always reading certain things, but are they serving me? Most of the time, probably not. Honestly, not enough. So I recognize that I need to read more. My writing, I do a little bit of writing before I come live to you. I wrote a few books, thinking about maybe what the next one could be about. It's almost like, do I want to write some form of novel about the current world, but some futuristic novel, sci-fi, or do I want to write about something about, you know, my life, but also I feel like I have to accomplish something before I could write about it. I have to live it before I could do that. That's more the main reason why I wrote um, a piece of my life. Why I wrote with my wife's help, Sour Sop Hostel. Sorry, Panama Dreaming, the birth of Sour Sop Hostel, and Conquering Hill. 50 writing prompts for a dream chaser. I wrote those things not just for myself, but to leave some form of trace of life that I was here on this earth for my great grandchildren one day to read, to look back and think, hey, my great granddaddy was a pretty cool guy. He lived the life he wanted to live. What are you leaving behind for your family and friends, your loved ones? What kind of memory, lasting memory will you have and impact will you have on their lives? That's what I chose to do. That's what I'm going to continue to do, but I have to get better every single day, just like you. So we have all this time. We have all this time. And there's a moment that goes, here comes another moment. There's a moment that goes, here comes another moment. So take the time to recognize what you can do to get better, some small steps that you can take. You know, we all have habits, we all have our vices. What are some healthy habits that you have that maybe you could ramp up a little bit? That you become a little stronger, a little more time towards those habits that you have, those good, healthy habits. Maybe you'd like to walk the dog in the morning right off the bat. Walk a little bit more. Maybe you go to yoga classes 2 days a week. Try 3 days a week. Maybe you like to read a half hour a day. Well, try 45 minutes to an hour a day. Look at your positive habits and see if you can put a little more time and energy into them. See if you can become stronger at those habits. Then take a look at maybe the habits that you have that don't serve you, that are not healthy habits for you. It could be, listen, I'll say it before. I've said it before. I don't I don't look down upon someone who loves to have a glass of wine with dinner or a beer because it tastes so good. I understand it tastes real good. I don't look down upon someone who likes to freaking smoke a J bomb, smoke a joint or a spliff. I know those are great, right? It's a great way to escape for a little bit, but are they serving you in the end? In the end, are they serving you? So that's what you have to take a look at. So if you can minimize some of those habits, well, maybe I'll only have a glass of wine on the weekend, or maybe I'll only smoke that joint when I come home from work instead of getting high all day while you work. I've been there, right? So even though you might have some unhealthy habits that you do throughout your day, throughout your life, if you can kind of minimize those, start to wane off those substances, wane yourself off those substances, you'll feel like that empty space will become a vacuum for all your positive habits. All your positive habits will be screaming, "Give me more time, give me more energy." It feels good. It feels good to do these things. And all the things that don't serve you, when you do have that drink or you do smoke that joint or you do start popping pills, your body will reject it. Your body will reject those. So work towards your healthy habits that you already have. Maybe you can add another one or two and start minimizing the ones that don't serve you. And then you'll start seeing some changes. Now those changes that you see might not be instantaneous. Those changes, those results that you are looking for aren't going to come because you decided to work out and exercise an extra 10 minutes tomorrow. Those results are not going to come because you want to read another 50 more pages today. You have to have some consistency, some discipline to come back the next day and the next day and the next day and do more. Practice, 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 practice. The famous Allison Iverson quote. We're talking about practice. The coach wanted him to practice more. He's one of the greatest players in the NBA at the time. We're talking about practice. How much better could he have been if he really cared about practice? You ever hear the stories about Michael Jordan in practice? How he would just dominate in practice? How he would dominate his teammates because he needed his teammates to be ready for when the time came? Then you had Allen Iverson on the other end of the spectrum, while his coach was calling him out publicly about putting in the work during practice, even though Allen Iverson was a phenom, a Hall of Famer. How many times did Jordan win and Allen Iverson win? There's your difference. Someone who was willing to put in the work when no one was watching. That's where you will find your greatness. That's where you will manifest into your greatness, into your true self, going down your true path. It's like putting in the work when no one is watching. You don't need to advertise that. You know what you're doing in that moment. You know that you're getting better in that moment every single day because you're working towards something bigger than yourself. So think about those particular things. What can you do today? How are you getting better today? Today is January 18th of 2024. How's that New Year's resolution coming? How are all those changes that you told yourself you were going to practice and do when the new year came, when it rang in on January 1st, December 31st, New Year's Eve? You're thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This is going to be my year. Are you still doing those? Are you still practicing those good habits? Did you still quit smoking? Did you still quit drinking? Do you not want to Eat no more sugars. You still want to exercise more? Or did you quit? Are you holding yourself accountable to what you really want to do to become a better person, to become better every single day? I woke up today tired. I woke up today and I closed my eyes for a split second. I'm like, maybe I should just sleep for another minute. And I said, no, 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 no. You need to get up, get out of bed, bang out your 41 push ups. Because I have made this commitment to myself and also you. I'll be here Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday morning, Sunday morning, will I sleep a little bit more? Of course. I need to rejuvenate. However, when I commit to something and when I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's how I hold myself accountable. Man of his word. Today's world is very, very hard to come by. Back in the day, back in that grandfather's day, all you needed was a handshake to make that deal, to be trustworthy. That handshake. Well, you shook my hand. You shook my hand. We made a deal. Now you need to sign a goddamn piece of paper and make sure. And even then, that piece of paper doesn't mean shit sometimes. So, what are you willing to commit? How much time are you willing to commit today to make a better life for yourself, to become better? How much time are you putting aside for yourself? On average, say you sleep 8 hours a day. Say you go to work for 8 hours, roughly. So that's 16 hours. You still have another 8 hours in your day. And you're telling me you can't find a half hour, 15 minutes to exercise? You're telling me you can't find a half hour or an hour to read something? You're telling me you can't find a half hour to an hour to work on your skills, to become better at your career, become a better person? You're telling me you can't find that time? Choices. It comes down to choices. It boils down to choices and how driven are you? Your level of laziness. Because I've said before, it's easy. It's easy just to sit down and relax. Hell, I like to sit down and relax sometimes. Put on a football game. Who doesn't? Some people like to put on their show for a little bit and unwind. Who doesn't? What about the rest of the day? You need to put that work in before you can actually sit down and relax. The great ones aren't relaxing ever. They're always working. Maybe things come easy to them, but they're always working towards their goals and dreams. They're always working towards their goals and dreams. They are obsessed. That's where you'll find true greatness. Becoming obsessed with your passion. Becoming obsessed in being better than everyone else. But you have to become better every single day to even get to that point. You have to become better every single day before you can help others. Because if you can't help yourself, how can you help others? If you can't become a better person, a better spouse, a better parent, a better friend, a better coworker, how can you help others? So it starts from within. It starts by making choices, healthy choices, practicing good habits, having some structure in your life, becoming disciplined with your schedule, with your time management. All those things, they're all together. So it's your time. Your time's on the line. We don't know how much time we have. You know, I almost think if we did, I think we'd know. I think we'd live our life a little bit differently. Like we all had a personal clock on our wall. You have 40 years and 30 minutes left, sir. And every single person's clock was different, and they could see how much time they had left. How do you think people will live? But that imaginary clock is on your wall. You just don't know the number of minutes and hours and days. But that clock is on your wall. So if you look at life through those lens, take a look at life through on that angle, you might live your life a little bit differently. Because we're all living on borrowed time in a sense. This time, this life was given to us. We're here for a reason. You can find that reason. It's just not going to come to you, but it's out there. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. So today, ask yourself, what can I do to get better? What can I do to get better today so I can have a better tomorrow, better week, better year, better life? Little things, incremental improvement every single day, moving forward, never stopping. The speed of which you do things does not matter as long as you are moving forward in the right direction. Maybe some of you have heard of Eric Thomas. It took him 12 years to graduate college. He was a high school dropout, homeless person, and he decided he wanted to change. It took him 12 years to graduate college. And now he is one of the most, or if not the most, influential motivational speakers in the world. He chose to do that. He chose to put the time in, literally over a decade, to graduate. So when things are tough and you don't feel like you can win, and you feel like everything's against you, you're not strong enough up here. You don't understand the power of yourself, the power of your mind, the power of your will to succeed. You have all those things in you. Your determination, your willpower can overcome any struggle. It's just a battle between your ears every single day. It's a battle between your ears and your heart. So how you have both of these things working against each other instead of having them working together. Because in your heart, if you love something so much, there should be this click. We're upstairs. You're thinking, I need to do this. I'm going to do this. Nothing's going to stop me to do this. I can overcome this problem I have, this failure, this rejection I just received, this person that's making things a little more difficult for me. My car broke down. Bills are getting high. I'm running out of time. These end up all being excuses instead of some of the reasons why you have to keep fighting, why you have to keep moving forward, why you have to keep going and chasing your dreams and goals. Nothing happens overnight. How many sunsets and sunrises do you have left? Are you going to give up? Are you going to keep fighting? Your chance, your opportunity for greatness. Your chance, your opportunity to become better every single day. Because once you start becoming better every single day, that everything starts to compound. Things become easier. And then you start attracting other people to help you along the way. Other ideas will emerge. You start breeding positivity. Because once you start getting better every single day, you become happier with yourself. Can't become content. You start feeling good about yourself. Start feeling proud in all your accomplishments, no matter how small they are. You get hungrier. Because you prove to yourself what you are capable of. Because you look back on your old self, that old self from 5 years ago, from a year ago, from last week. That person didn't want it, didn't have a desire to do that, to become better, to chase their goal or dream. But all of a sudden, this new you, this new person that has decided I'm going to fight, I'm going to work and keep moving forward for exactly what I want, for the person I want to become. Then it becomes easier. It becomes a little bit easier because now you have some momentum, but you can't stop because that momentum will slow down. It'll come to a halt just when you get a little lazy, just when you think you've had enough. You got to keep moving forward. Try to stay positive. Look for that positive silver lining no matter what happens along the way. You have it. You have it. You have it. You have it. But do you want it enough? So, how are you going to get better today so you'll have a better tomorrow, a better next week, a better month, a better year, and you become a better person at the same time? We all have our flaws. We are not perfect. We all realize this, but we can become better in our limited amount of time that we have here. So today, I thank you for joining me on the Conquering Hill podcast and morning talk show, where I come to you live 7 a.m. Monday through Friday on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find the recording later on Spotify and YouTube today. Please spread the word. I hope I've offered a little bit of value and inspiration and motivation for you today. I truly appreciate you taking the time listening. Thank you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.